This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Today it's live third round coverage of the Career Builder Challenge.
Oh, it's perfect. That is a huge opening tee shot.
Now the approach shot here at the par 4 first. Seems there, and a great chance to knock in that short putt. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Great start.
Frank, this is a nice-looking hole. Not long, only 371 yards, but challenging in its own way.
It is challenging. The best approach here really is a conservative tee shot to set up an aggressive second.
Wouldn't call it a great approach shot, but it still ends up in the fringe.
A little bit of magic from here. The hole's not over.
So on the putting surface, and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. Trying to make yet another birdie. Has it for another birdie. 2 holes, 2 birdies. Frank, 100 yards longer than the second hole. The third, 471 yards. What do you think of this hole?
This is totally different to the previous hole. Driver should come out of the bag here, and if you can take that first bunker out of play, which is around that 285, 290 yard mark, you can start to shorten this hole up a little bit. And, well, the longest hitters, they still might even get a short iron in hand.
Getting set now for the second shot here at hole number 3, par 4. Exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's full melody now.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Nice solid start to the round. Tee to green looks to be in command.
Yeah, it's surprising. I thought he might have been a little shaky out of the gate, but certainly proved me wrong.
Frank, this is our first par 3 of the day. The fourth, about 192 yards.
And it's called sandpit. So if you're not on the green, chances are you're getting that lob wedge or sand wedge out. Green is 36 yards deep. A nice little sort of hump and hollow roll to it. Mini roller coaster.
Good chance now after that approach shot for a birdie.
It was so precise coming in, and the measurement is 9 feet away.
Makes the putt for a birdie. Frank, this looks like a fun hole. The first par 5 of the day, 535-yard fifth.
Yeah, as long as you've got something that doesn't go left off the tee shot and doesn't go right off the second shot, you'll be fine.
Frank, right where you want to be.
Wouldn't be better if it was on a tee.
Frank, what are they looking at here on the second shot at the par 5 fifth?
Well, this is certainly in the go zone. That sort of 200 to 230 yard mark is tempting, especially with today's technology. Green, if the ball just finishes off the left side of the putting surface, it's not that difficult to chip.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, how about this 255-yard par 3 sixth?
Yeah, there's a bit of a bailout area, sort of short and left, but the only thing really going in the player's favour, it is a big green, 51 yards in depth. So you want to sort of do the maths in reverse, 255, take away 50, 205 front, doesn't sound as daunting.
Really in control of this hole. Birdie yesterday and another opportunity on the way. continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been.
Frank, if you want to play this game at the highest level, and no doubt our players do, you have to sort of be tactical. Will you break down shots or break down a hole? How would you break down this hole in a very smart way?
Yeah, I know what you're getting at there. A lot of people would think 350 yards, you could bash a driver down there, you'd finish up in trouble. Well, the way to be aggressive on a strategic hole is to just put the first one in play in a position where you can attack with the second. And there's no shame in that. You can still walk off here more days than often than not with a 3.
It has been a ball-striking clinic today, getting one green after the next. Birdie try again here today. Had a nice birdie on this hole yesterday. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Well, Frank, here at the par 5 8th, 559 yards. Looks as though the player's getting a break from the water, but there is some trouble out there.
Yeah, there certainly is bunkering both on the left and the right. Once again, though, par 5s are always an opportunity for the longer hitter. Even if you stray a little offline, then it just becomes a 3-shotter like it is for everybody else.
But this could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it. Rich, there's great drivers of the ball. We've seen Norman, Nicholas over the years, but that there is just excellent. Lovely full turn, plenty of power, and just piped it.
Made it look easy right there, and he's such a good-looking player. When he's dialed in, swinging the way he is right now, just a pleasure to watch. And this is looking really good. Just a sensational shot, and he will have that for an eagle.
Amazing. Just like that, pick up 2 on the field.
Frank, the 9th hole, a par 4 measuring 452 yards. This is no picnic.
This is the... He goes after it like he is here. Rich, that is annihilation of a golf ball.
Absolutely love it. I mean, he just tore that thing to pieces. This is when the game is fun, Frank, when you get it high in the air and you have a down breeze and you just watch it stays in the air forever.
Look at the hang time on that.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie. Getting set now over the putt. Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Birdie here yesterday. This putt again for birdie. Good putt. Long par 5 11. They call it eternity with good reason. It is 617 yards. Frank, what's the game plan here?
Hit it as long as you can, hopefully only a couple of times, and you can get fairly close to this green. Little pitch up there, but even if you go for this green or try and get close, that's when you start to notice the water that comes in on the left side, so you can't just bash away. Might only be a couple of bunkers in play off the tee, but they have to be avoided.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
That is just an outstanding shot right there. And now a chance for an eagle. And drops it in.
Well, Frank, how about this hole? Par 5 11 at 617 yards.
The goal here is to take all those bunkers down that left side completely out of play. You can hit it far enough down there, you can get close to this green. But if you do stray a little bit, all of a sudden, well, it's called eternity. You're going to find that this hole will play very long.
I mean, he just blasted it down the fairway, well over 325 yards.
Club has been pulled, ready for the second shot now at the par 4 12.
Excellent shot to within 10 feet. These putts keep the round together.
Rich, that just adds insult to injury to the rest of the field. Another birdie, and the gap even wider.
A sensational performance.
Now at the par 3 13th, and Frank, in some ways, this is vintage Pete Dye, isn't it?
It is. His use of wooden bulkheads, plus the fact that he gives you that diminishing line. And the further you go back into this green, you realize it's a more and a larger carry. It just sort of reeks of something that's hit to the front mid-right of this green.
Settles in over the putt. Count that. That's a birdie.
Well, Frank, kind of a make-or-break hole here at the 14th, par 4, 389 yards.
For the Cavalier player, you can sort of go at this this green in a more direct line. 290 yards will take all this bunker down the right out of play. Just leave you a flick in here. I'm going to say that's not a bad play, really. If you don't do that, then you just got to thread it down the left.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot. Virtually no error in that putting stroke. Good putt.
Well, Frank, we are turning home. It says so on the scorecard here at 15.
It is, and once again, another example of great bunkering by Pete Dye. Bunkers on a lot of golf courses are just simply left and right. But what Pete Dye does, he lets them cut in, especially that one down the left side of the fairway it cuts in. So it has to be avoided, and it's going to be about 280 yards to take it completely out of play. That's probably the best line, is to get it just past that last bunker on the left side.
Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. Trying to make yet another birdie. Stroke that with authority.
Now to the par 5 16th. Frank, this is a pretty solid hole.
Like all the other par 5s here, length gets a big advantage here. This hole, as you mentioned, bends to the left. And that bunker can be taken out of play by the longest hitters. 326 yards will get you past that. Otherwise, there's sort of a V shoot down the right side that everybody else has to respect.
Frank, such an advantage when you can hit it that far.
It's not fair.
Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Yeah. That's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Well, there it is. They call it Alcatraz. Just sitting out there on the water. 168 yards away, Frank.
Well, speaking of water, that water looks so peaceful, doesn't it? It'd be a shame to spoil it with a splash. Hazard?
Maybe wet. Just averted danger right there. So close.
What does he have all like?
Locked in on the read. and the speed. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
One great hole after another here at PGA West. The finishing hole, no exception. Frank, what can we expect here?
Finishing hole. It's amazing. If you took the 3 bunkers we're first going to see down the right side, this would almost be a nothing hole. But because they're perfectly situated here, they really shrink up that driving area down the left side. And this is just a reward for a great swing, a great strike, a great shot.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Oh, can't hide the flag stick from that man. Just a couple of feet.
Amazed, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been.
Frank, in golf, there's nothing quite like the final round of a hotly contested championship, and this one could be a doozy.
And there's nothing quite like that leaderboard I'm looking at right now. We are going to have some amazing golf. This one is going to have to be won.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Today, it's the final round of the Career Builder Challenge.
Just pulverized that golf ball. Well, that's just how you envision it when you walk to the first tee. High and deep, right in the middle of the fairway. Good way to start.
Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Birdie try again here today. Had a nice birdie on this hole yesterday. So close.
Just when you think you're going to make birdie. Now, have to really concentrate on this and at least make par.
Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par.
Frank, the second hole is only 371 yards. What's the challenge here?
The bunkering. This is really well bunkered. You'd expect that for a hole this short. If it's well bunkered, it means that it's vital to get it on the fairway. There's always advantage of hitting it further than most, Rich, and straighter than most. When you put the two together, it's just straight up a head start.
Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Right in the heart. Now to the third hole, a par 4, 471 yards. Frank, break this hole down for us.
Well, the trouble appears down that left side with the series of bunkers, but you've got to take into account the trees that are well positioned down the right side. Plus, as you can see, this fairway is not exactly flat.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Birdie try up next. Frank going for 2 in a row now. Just drip that in.
Well, it's 4 1/4 inches. Use it all.
Frank, here's a case at the fourth hole, this par 3, of Pete Dye kind of messing with a player's mind. Just how does he do it?
Well, there's a straight line between that tee and the flag. That's the obvious thing. But if you follow the look of the hole down there, it's just the shaping of the bunkers, the little curving of the edges there that just take that mind's eye away, almost making it look like there's a little bit of a dog leg in a straight hole. Very clever.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
Frank, this looks like a fun hole. The first par 5 of the day, 535-yard fifth.
Yeah, as long as you've got something that doesn't go left off the tee shot and doesn't go right off the second shot, you'll be fine.
That's a good start to the hole, right down the middle. So where the hole is cut, just about 190 yards, Frank.
Oh, this is heading in the wrong direction.
Uh-oh. Frank, that is how it's done.
Yeah, take a gross of those. That is a lesson in itself.
And now a chance for eagle. Count that for eagle. What a hole this is. 255 yards, par 3, water everywhere you look. This is a real test.
It's called Amen, and whatever religion that you subscribe to, you better say a prayer before this one.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try.
Oh, and it gets a good kick. It's only in the first cut.
Not too
That's
bad.
not too bad.
Frank, I like the way he sort of starts his swing a little bit on the outside and then drops it right on plane. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Wow, I thought he made that. Yeah, that really hurts, Frank, missing the bogey putt.
Yeah, now time to get the handkerchief. Double bogey coming up.
No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Frank, this is like a big water park here at PGA West. We saw it at the 6th, and here again at the 7th, a challenging par 4, 346 yards.
I've never, ever seen anyone try and drive this green. So it's just a layup. You see the bunker down there in the distance. That really is the stop sign. So something that's short of that, but really what I prefer is try and lay up on a nice number. Something that you've got a full shot in, whether that be a 9-iron or an 8-iron or a wedge. You'd like to have a full club in here.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Are you kidding me? He just missed that. I cannot believe that. That was such a short putt.
A good putt redeems all.
555-yard par 5 8th hole. Frank, is this a 2-shotter or a 3-shotter?
Good question, Rich. It starts to shrink down by the walkway, which is around that 330-yard mark. That's the decision has to be made. Personally, I think you try it at first, because even if you do find a fairway bunker, then it is certainly a layup. If you've got the distance, it's well worth the risk. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Couldn't have done much better than that. Eagle is very possible.
Just 5 feet left. Making it look easy for eagle.
Frank, the ninth hole, a par 4 measuring 452 yards. This is no picnic.
This is the toughest. Oh, he's winding this one up. Does he have the power to... Long just meant longer.
A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That is classy.
Well, a chance of going in.
This will be a birdie if it drops. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. That's an absolute beauty.
Now the second shot here at 10. Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. He's made it. Well, we've arrived at our third par 5 of the day here at PGA West. It is the 11th. It is nicknamed, appropriately, Eternity. 617 yards.
Can we get a measure on that one? That's enormous.
Nice position, short grass, second shot. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. That is a really good shot, landing close to the flagstick. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, Pete Dye always gets a player thinking what might be going through a player's mind right here.
You're going to play it as a layup. You know, that's a given. It's just what distance you want. And for every distance you're going to hit it off the tee, Pete Dye gives you a different challenge. If you lay it all the way back, obviously you've got the widest field. Then you've got the longer second shot. Get a little closer, it starts to shrink up, shrink up, shrink up. So it's how much do you want to bite off?
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Now teeing off here at the par 3, 13th. Well, you can hear it right off the center of the club face. This has a chance to be close. I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card. Now another short par 4. It's only 389 yards. But Frank, where could a player go off course, so to speak, at this 14th?
Well, this is a hole where you have to play your own game. If you're a longer hitter, I think you can challenge that bunker and knock it over there. And if you're short of play, you should be only looking at that left side. You're always going to feel like you've left something out here on a hole like this. You'd always think you could have done the other option. But this is where you've got to stick to what you think is your game plan.
Yeah, can't hide the flag stick from that man. Birdie try again here today. Continuing to putt with confidence. Par 4 15th measuring in at 468 yards. Now at the 15th, par 4, 468 yards. It is turning home as we are making our way towards the close of this round. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
This is a good-looking shot.
A sensational shot right there, Frank.
Oh, you start beating your chest after a shot like that. That's the best we've seen into this hole to date.
Here we go now, the final par 5 of the day, Frank.
Yeah, decision on how much you bite off here. If you play the ball to the right, then it's going to play its full 600 yards. If you can take it in a direct line at that green, you're going to chew off a little bit of yardage, but you have to be able to carry that bunker.
And through the years, a lot of excitement here at this par 5 16. Just blasted that tee ball, Frank.
Set for his next shot from a good position in the fairway.
Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself that it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit given the conditions, but once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
I like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy.
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze, but down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
Par 3 17. It is the signature hole here at PGA West. They call it Alcatraz with good reason. You can get locked up here and they'll throw away the key. It's a place that has spoiled a lot of rounds through the years.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Drops for a birdie. Well, Frank, hopefully the player has arrived here at 18 in a pretty good frame of mind. If not, you have to be thinking, oh, here we go again. Water left. I mean, you could shoot 100 out here on this golf course if you don't have your best stuff.
Yeah, this is another example of, you're right, if you've got the bad mojo going, this is not the hole you want to be playing. Water left, bunkers right. Somewhere in between, though, this fairway.
Frank, this approach shot seems pretty.
It's that visual. Once again, you've got that green that's angled to the left. But once again, like a few holes out here, you do not have to hit directly at this flag. You're allowed to move that flag mentally 15, even 20 feet to the right. There's nothing wrong with that.
And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
That's why you play the game, to stack up the wins. Great effort right there. This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Simply put, there is nothing like it in the game of golf. It is by far the biggest spectator event in the sport. We're at TPC Scottsdale in Scottsdale, Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. And Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
Well, everybody wants to know about 16, the famed par 3 here, surrounded by those skyboxes. Once again, that'll be a topic of the day. But really, this is a regular sight for the PGA Tour. So those of you that were familiar with the golf course, it's now changed. 2014, the designers Morris and Weisskopf did a massive renovation.
Well over 100,000 fans every day, better than 500,000 for the week. It's a giant party mixed in with a heck of a tournament. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
Par 4 second hole, a little bit longer than the first, this one at 442 yards.
Yeah, they've added a new tee, changed the bunkering down the right side. Still a semi-blind tee shot, a hole that bends softly to the left side. The bunkering around this green has changed. Still, it requires a very precise tee shot.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Second shot, good look at the green. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Superb shot.
That's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Now on to the third. First par 5 on the course here at TPC Scottsdale.
Yeah, the length of the hole hasn't really changed. Used to be 2 fairway bunkers down the left. Now there's only 1. Still a hazard that runs down the right side. A strategic hold if you can't make this par 5 and 2. And a brand new green that has been completely changed.
A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. Second shot coming up here at the par 5.
This is straight at it.
That's a really good line. Big swing right there. A great result. And now a chance for a big swing in momentum with an eagle coming up. And that is an eagle with a capital E. It is exciting and into the top 5.
Big jump up the leaderboard.
For those of you just tuning in, we're checking in now on our featured golfer here at the 4th. Frank, this is a very nice start to the round. Couple of birdies on the scorecard, looks extremely solid.
Yeah, looks Rod poised actually to have a very good round today.
And it makes the green in regulation. And getting ready for the putt. Frank, this is a good position to be in for a player. Making birdies, making some moves.
Starting to get the momentum, too, for the finish.
Frank, this is a demanding driving hole, the par 4 fifth.
Another hole that bends gently to the left. There used to be 2 bunkers down the right side. It's now 1, and it's in the perfect position to make you think about your tee shot. Really, you have to be left of that. The new tee's added a little bit of yardage to it. The green still looks the same as what it once was. Tilts slightly from left to right. But you can see why a draw is the preferred shot at TPC Scottsdale.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Frank, one of the great moments in tournament history here in Scottsdale, you go back to 1996, the sudden death playoff between Phil Mickelson and Justin Leonard. Mickelson has always been the hero out here because he went to Arizona State.
Yeah, and it still runs through his veins, Rich. There was such an important win for him because to do it in front of people that he considered his home crowd was huge. And then also to do it in a playoff where obviously it's win or lose. So for Mickelson, 1996 and TPC Scottsdale certainly ring home.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. The bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Setting himself up for a good weekend, the wily golf instructor makes his birdie. On to the par 3 7th, 215 yards from that back tee box, Frank.
This hole hasn't really changed. Still has that V-shaped green where it's very narrow in the front. A high-flying shot in here that carries that front edge, and you'll find the further and further you go back there, the more receptive, and that green starts to widen.
Well, he gave us a demonstration today why he's one of the best in the sport. Every green hit in regulation. Playing beautiful golf. 8 under for the tournament. Now here at the par 4 8th, slight dogleg to the left, Frank.
And this dogleg's made, well, when he goes after it like he is here. Huge with a capital H.
Moved it a long ways.
Rich, that was a heat-seeking missile. That is out there.
They make it look so easy, and we know it isn't, but when you hit tee balls that long and that straight, it does make the game kind of simple. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Well, that's how you play the game. Right there. Settles in over the putt. Really hitting on all cylinders now. 9 under for the tournament. Here at the par 4 9th hole, Frank, what's the strategy off the tee?
Well, there's one bunker down the right side that you have to be very wary of. 325 yards to carry that, so it's very much in play, and just over 290 to reach it. Ideally, you have to go left about that down the left side. But really, this is a second shot hole because this green is not very deep. Happiness is a long, 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 long walk after that one.
Slight waggle, relaxed arms, ready to go. This has really been a good bounce-back round. Slow at the start, and now they're picking up some speed. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Just a couple of feet. Always like to get the double figures under par. 10 under already. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
In the fairway here at the 10th, nice way to start off the back 9.
Second shot.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Moving on to the 11th hole, Frank, water all along the left side, 472 yards. How do you handle this one?
Well, this one's weird because the tees are a little off-center. They start down the right side, which makes it into a dogleg. And you mentioned the water. It always comes into play. And there are 0 fairway bunkers. You don't need them here at 11 because really it's all about the tee shot. Find the fairway. Then even though it's a long par 4, you should be able to at least attack that green safely. Miss the fairway to the right, which is the bailout side, and your problems are just starting.
On the green in regulation. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. 12th hole now, looking at 192 yards, par 3.
Won't quite play that distance because that tee shot is considerably downhill. But you really have to be cognizant of the wind if it's coming off the left because it easily brings that water into play down the right should that tee shot just start moving with the wind.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
You'll love them, the birdies, and that's another one. Par 5 13th, chance for birdie or maybe even eagle if you're bold and brave enough, but also, Frank, chance for disaster here?
Well, there is. Water very much in play down the right side. There's a bunker down the left too. If you finish up in that, there's no way you're going for this par 5 and 2. Then it becomes a little bit of a zigzag mission. The second shot either has to be hit down the right side, just skirting that bunker in the front, or it has to be all carry.
Well, you can hear it right off the center of the club face. This has a chance to be close.
Frank, that is how it's done.
Yeah, take a gross of those. That is a lesson in itself.
And now a chance for eagle.
Headed to rarefied territory already. 15 under par for the round. Par 4 14th, Frank, it seems as though you'd be pretty happy with a par.
You would, even though the putting surfaces here at TPC Scottsdale are excellent. It's going to take 2 good shots to reach this 14th hole. You can get in a little bit of trouble off the tee. That bunker on the left very much in play. The rough on the right side is no snack either, because the ball, more often than not, will finish well above the player's feet. And of course that green is very, very narrow, well protected by bunkers on the left.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Good looking shot right here.
Midway through this back 9, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Good putt. Now at the par 5 15th, and Frank, there is plenty to catch your eye. There's also quite a bit to catch your ear. You can hear the roars at the par 3 16th. So how do you focus on the task at hand?
Great question, Rich. You realize you're about to enter the stadium part of the golf course, but this is the last par 5 that you're going to play. We've seen eagles here over the years. We've seen many a player hit it in the water off the tee or water short of the green. Certainly one of the tougher tee shots coming in. No bunkers here to worry about, just that huge lake to the left. Find the fairway. You might just find the green.
That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Seems to really have the touch today. Great scoring opportunity here at the par 5 15th, but Frank, I'm wondering, as a player, is your mind beginning to think about what's ahead at that par 3 16th hole?
Oh, they are. This is really the finishing stretch at TPC Scottsdale, where you get all these swing holes. 15 is a swing hole. 16, 17, and 18, where so many changes in the score can actually happen.
Frank, I think that went in.
It's a what? It's a hole-in-one.
He made an ace. That is unbelievable. Frank, 16 was fun. 17 is always exciting here at TPC Scottsdale.
You've got to be careful, because that water that sort of goes around the left side of the green, if that ball's coming in with a little bit of hook, it's just going to keep going left. There's the one bunker you really have to focus on. That's the one in the middle of the fairway. 280 will carry that. Chances are the ball can run onto the green. It takes a brave man really to try and fly this ball all the way there. It's not really needed, because there's always another 10 or 15 yards of run. Factor that in. Great effort, a little too strong. Didn't take the break.
He's got a birdie chance now coming back. Just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
So a tester from 4 feet.
Just dwindling the holes down. Pars are fine right now.
To the 18th hole now, and Frank, the original designers stepped in and they made this hole quite a bit more challenging.
Yeah, they certainly have stiffened it up. The longest hitters in the game, the Dustin Johnsons, the Bubba Watsons, the J.B. Holmes, used to take it completely over the lake down the left side where there was just one paltry bunker. Now there's a series of bunkers, almost like the church pews at Oakmont. that are littered down the left side, stopping that attack. You're going to have to respect this hole that much more off the tee. Find the fairway. It's still a short iron in, but this finishing hole is now a proper finishing hole.
Superb shot.
Well, that's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Beautifully done. That's a birdie. Frank, you surprised to see that name on top of the leaderboard?
I am surprised to see the name, but not that style of golf leading. It was great performance, especially tee to green. You don't often see people start that quickly.
EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. Set in the Sonoran Desert and surrounded by the majestic McDowell Mountains, we're at the stadium course at TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Slaughter alongside Frank Nobilo, set to bring you all the action for today's event. Frank, when you think about the TPC Scottsdale, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
The golf course has been radically changed in 2014, but it still hasn't lost its luster. Really, it's just been updated like the game itself for these young, strong players of the modern era.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
That's not how you picture it, Frank, when you step on that first tee.
No, you'd like to go back to that first tee right now and start again. Comfortably knocks it in.
Par 4 second hole, a little bit longer than the first, this one at 442 yards.
Yeah, they've added a new tee, changed the bunkering down the right side. Still a semi-blind tee shot, a hole that bends softly to the left side. The bunkering around this green has changed. Still, it requires a very precise tee shot.
Frank, they say you have to ride the wind. Boy, he got all of that one.
Got every ounce out of the conditions.
So on the putting surface and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. Oh, do that. Now on to the third, first par 5 on the course here at TPC Scottsdale.
Yeah, the length of the hole hasn't really changed. Used to be 2 fairway bunkers down the left, now there's only 1. Still a hazard that runs down the right side. A strategic hole if you can't make this par 5 and 2 in a brand new green that has been completely changed. Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Locked in on the read and the speed. No problems early. Looks good.
It does look good. This bodes well. We might be in for a very, very low round today.
Frank, what kind of shot is required here at the par 3 fourth?
A little drop shot par 3 down the hill in today's standards because it's under 200 yards. Series of 3 tee boxes, so plenty to choose from there. The entry into the green is well protected now by the 2 bunkers, one in the center and one on the right front of this green.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Not a gimme, but well within his range.
Frank, we have said it over and over. Another birdie. Frank, this is a demanding driving hole, the par 4 fifth.
Another hole that bends gently to the left. There used to be 2 bunkers down the right side. It's now 1 left of that. The new tee's added a little bit of yardage to it. The green still looks the same as what it once was. Tilts slightly from left to right. But you can see why a draw is the preferred shot at TPC Scottsdale.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
And it makes the green in regulation. In for birdie. Par 4 sixth, and Frank, a couple of options here.
Yeah, a hole that bends to the left. A draw is the preferred shot off the tee. The longer hitters will have a big advantage. They'll be able to get it down there and just have a pitch or a short wedge into this. If you're not, that long, then you're going to have to lay it back short of those bunkers. That's going to leave a lengthy second shot.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie.
Continues to roll it very well all day long. Frank, where's the difficulty here on the 7th hole, the par 3 of more than 200 yards?
Well, Rich, front hole locations are always probably the toughest here because that's the narrowest part of the green. Bunkering really hasn't changed, and the green still does widen up, but the hole tends to play slightly uphill.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Cleans that up in the hole. Frank, the par 4 8th, this is a good hole.
It is a dog leg to the left, forces the player to go out the right, and this will play every inch of its yardage, which is over 470 yards. Green's still pretty much the same with that false front, unless there's a flag position in the front. You're really going to have to fly at least 20 yards or so into that green, otherwise that ball is going to run towards the front.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
Rounding out the front 9 with a par 4 of 453 yards from the back tee.
Look, he's going for a little extra. Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
And it looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow-through. Frank, it makes the game easy when you play it from the fairway.
Especially when you play it from a lie like that.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back 9, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
It should be pretty good right there. On the safe side.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been.
Now at the par 4 11th, Frank, I really like this hole.
Well, you might be the only one, Rich, because this is an absolute scorecard wrecker. Water all the way down the left side. There's two bunkers. Don't worry about that. They're not off the tee. They're around the green. They protect the left front and the back. If you think you can bail out down the right side, well, you could find cactus and all sorts of crazy things down the right. And believe me, go down there, more than anything, they'll wreck your scorecard as well.
Shot from 115 yards with a breeze coming at his back. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Well, that's how you play the game. Right there.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
Setting himself up for a good weekend, the wily golf instructor makes his birdie. 12th hole now, looking at 192 yards, par 3.
Won't quite play that distance because that tee shot is considerably downhill. But you really have to be cognizant of the wind if it's coming off the left, because it easily brings that water into play down the right should that tee shot just start moving with the wind.
On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity.
Great, too.
Beautiful. Par 5 13th, chance for birdie or maybe even eagle if you're bold and brave enough, but also, Frank, chance for disaster here?
Well, there is. Water very much in play down the right side. There's a bunker down the left, too. If you finish up in that, there's no way you're going for this par 5 and 2. Then it becomes a little bit of a zigzag mission. The second shot either has to be hit down the right side, just skirting that bunker in the front, or it has to be all carry.
This could be a huge momentum swing here, Frank.
Yeah, one more good swing, and he's going to have an eagle putt coming up. I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but it is well on the cards.
On the green in regulation. That's the idea. Just knock it in. To the par 5 13th here at TPC Scottsdale. Lots of danger left and right of this tight fairway, Frank.
This hole has really changed over the years. It used to be a split fairway. That no longer exists. That bunker you see down the left side, which you can't carry, really defines the left side of the hole. Water still in play down the right, and big change here is the bunkering along the left front and left side of this green. So you can't just blaze away and comfortably expect to hit 13 and 2 anymore. Happiness is a long, 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 long walk after that one. This looks like it's going to find the target.
And he's made the green. Just a couple of feet. Good putt. All right, Frank, now the fun begins. We are teed up at the par 5 15th hole. Plenty to talk about here.
Yeah, the fairway down the left side is anything other than straight. It's more like a shipwreck, the raggedness of it. And that water in play, well, if you do find one on the fairway, you can sort of always wave across to the people that are walking down the 11th hole. Find the fairway, you can reach this par 5 and 2. A little bit of an island-looking green there, bunker on the left, and also another bunker just short right. But a fairway missed here. Now you can rack up 5, 6, 7. You've seen all sorts of scores here at 15.
Right in the heart of the fairway, green light special. Strong wind here early in the round.
How do you think this is going to affect the players, Frank?
Well, they've got to be clever on a club selection and the type of shot they want to hit now.
This hole really sets up well for the player. Birdie yesterday, and a chance for another one today. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
Yeah, an eagle. What a putt.
Frank, the one moment that sort of made the 16th hole what it is today would have to be Tiger's ace in 1997 here at the TPC Scottsdale when it was raining plastic cups.
It was also his reaction, too, and that ushered in the Tiger Woods era that we became associated with, which is the fist-pumping, the rowdy spectators. I mean, he was one of the few players that bridged the gap between spectator and golf course. And it still goes on till today. And I think Rory McIlroy probably is the only other player that starts to broach that type of inside and outside atmosphere with golf.
Still to this day, it's the loudest single moment that I can ever remember hearing on a golf course. I mean, that is a sight to behold. What a spectacular shot we just saw on the par 4 with a drive in one. Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. This is for his birdie. Has it. Well, again, the fairways are lined with those huge galleries coming off 16 and 17. Now the finishing hole here at TPC Scottsdale. And Frank, what can we expect?
Well, this is a goodie. It'll play slightly as a dogleg left. Now, many a year, a player would try and carry the ball all the way over that water down the left side. But those new bunkers down there, it stopped the J.B. Holmes attack on this par 4. You're really going to have to play a little right of those now. And there's a couple of bunkers up on the hill to stop you doing that. So this is really a much tougher tee shot. 440 yards of par 4 just got a little bit more difficult.
Just a pure strike and a perfect result. He'll have a good look at birdie now. That's how you keep a round going. Make them from that distance. There you have it. The second round is complete. Another solid effort put together, and it shows on the scorecard.
And after 2 rounds, you really start to see not only who's playing well, but who's consistent.
Presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Here at the TPC Scottsdale in Arizona, and Frank, when so many people tune in to watch this great event, they think immediately of the 16th hole with all of those fans jammed in. It's like Fenway Park inside the desert there, but it's much more than that little par 3, isn't it?
It certainly is more than that, Rich. The TPC Scottsdale is a great venue for a PGA Tour event. It's a blend of everything. Birdie opportunities, holes that are fought by water, bunkering that's being changed. All in all, it's a great atmosphere with nearly 500,000 people that visit this during the tournament week.
That is classy.
They had a chance of going in.
Par yesterday, now for birdie.
Oh, good start.
Par 4 second hole, a little bit longer than the first, this one at 442 yards.
Yeah, they've added a new tee, changed the bunkering down the right side. Still a semi-blind tee shot, a hole that bends softly to the left side. The bunkering around this green has changed. Still, it requires a very precise tee shot.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from that.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Well, that is a ball striking clinic right there. Another dazzling approach shot. Pretty close. That drops for another birdie. 2 in a row to start the round. Frank, what's the strategy here off the tee at the par 5 third?
For the long hitters, they still think that they can reach this par 5 and 2 comfortably with this tee shot. For the shorter hitters, it really is a thought about where you lay up that second shot to try and leave a good third shot yardage in. Still a good tee shot, though. That hazard down the right side protects against someone who's a little too cavalier off the tee.
Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320. Oh, this is straight at it.
That's a really good line. Perfect. And in the hole. What a shot. Frank, what kind of shot is required here at the par 3 fourth?
A little drop shot par 3 down the hill in today's standards because it's under 200 yards. Series of 3 tee boxes, so plenty to choose from there. The entry into the green is well protected now by the 2 bunkers, one in the center and one on the right front of this green.
What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Everybody loves them. Birdie on the card. Frank, this is a demanding driving hole, the par 4 fifth.
Another hole that bends gently to the left. There used to be 2 bunkers down the right side. It's now 1, and it's in the perfect position to make you think about your tee shot. Really, you have to be left of that. The new tee's added a little bit of yardage to it. The green still looks the same as what it once was. Tilts slightly from left to right. But you can see why a draw is the preferred shot at TPC Scottsdale.
Sensational shot right there, Frank.
Oh, you start beating your chest after a shot like that. That's the best we've seen into this hole today.
No problems there.
Yeah, it keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Ready to tee off now at the 6th. This is a dogleg left.
And another hole that's being stiffened by bunkers on both the left and the right side, really giving you the decision on what club to hit. Should you be bold or should you be smart?
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Second shot. Good look at the green.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green. Just making a mockery of the field now. Another eagle.
Frank, where's the difficulty here on the 7th hole, the par 3 of more than 200 yards?
Well, Rich, front hole locations are always probably the toughest here because that's the narrowest part of the green. Bunkering really hasn't changed, and the green still does widen up, but the hole tends to play slightly uphill.
Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Well, that was a tricky one, but it's in.
Frank, the par 4 8th, this is a good hole.
It is. A dogleg to the left. Forces, he's gone for a little extra.
And that ball is absolutely scorched. Just hit a seed out there. That, Frank, is position A.
Wouldn't you like to have that in your bag every day?
Love it. That'll be 90 yards. Players still fighting the strong winds out there today. Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Finishing out the front side now at the 9th. And Frank, what do you think of this par 4?
Nice way to finish the front 9, Rich. Very thin green, protected by that little splash bunker in the front. Iron players get a real advantage here. One bunker down the right side to be aware of off the tee, though. I doubt anybody could carry that. Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
Setting up for an approach shot here. Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Trying to make yet another birdie. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
That's an absolute tracer right there. In the fairway, and well over 320 yards. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. And he has it for birdie. Moving on to the 11th hole, Frank, water all along the left side, 472 yards. How do you handle this one?
Well, this one's weird because the tees are a little off-center. They start down the right side, which makes it into a dogleg. And you mentioned the water. It always comes into play. And there are 0 fairway bunkers. You don't need them here at 11 because really it's all about the tee shot. Find the fairway, then even though it's a long par 4, you should be able to at least attack that green safely. Miss the fairway to the right, which is the barrel outside, and your problems are just starting.
And that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
As this putt for birdie. Continues to roll the ball very well. Par 312 may not be as famous as the par 316, but Frank, you think this may be a tougher and even better hole?
We see more bogeys and double bogeys here on 12 than 16 will ever see, and courtesy of the water behind and to the right of this green. If you're going to bail out, find one of those bunkers. A good bunker player obviously can get it up and down, but it's still no snap trying to record your par 3 at 12.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's formality now.
To the par 5 13th here at TPC Scottsdale. Lots of danger left and right of this tight fairway, Frank.
This hole has really changed over the years. There used to be a split fairway. That no longer exists. That bunker you can see down the left side, which you can't carry, really defines the left side of this hole. Water still in play down the right, and big change here is the bunkering along the left, front, and left side of this green. So you can't just blaze away and comfortably expect to hit 13 and 2 anymore.
Uh-oh, this one's going left, Frank. Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. I guess you're allowed that in this game.
14th now, it's a par 4.
And a dogleg left once again. The bunker on the left side's been pushed out to the fairway to really make you think whether or not you can carry that. It's a lengthy second shot because it's going to play a little bit uphill. And this green is well protected on the left side with the 2 bunkers.
A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Oh, can't hide the flag stick from that man. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Oh yeah, he's made it for a birdie. All right, Frank, now the fun begins. We are teed up at the par 5 15th hole. Plenty to talk about here.
Yeah, the fairway down the left side is anything other than straight. It's more like a shipwreck, the raggedness of it. And that water in play, well, if you do find one on the fairway, you can sort of always wave across to the people that are walking down the 11th hole. Find the fairway, you can reach this par 5 and 2. A little bit of an island-looking green there, bunker on the left. Well, you can rack up 5, 6, 7. We've seen all sorts of scores here at 15. This looks like it's going to find the target.
That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Good putt. Well, partner, here we go. Players have characterized it as terrifying, chaotic, amazing. The stadium atmosphere here at this hole, the 16th of par 3, is really spectacular, isn't it, Frank?
It is. Because of the atmosphere, the number of people, this is the closest a golfer gets to like kicking a field goal in a Super Bowl. It's just surrounded by people. It's not really the difficulty of the hole. Just over 160 yards and modest par 3. There's no water in trouble. But it's an atmosphere that golfers never normally are familiar with.
Frank, when you get to the 17th hole, we always recall maybe the single most bizarre shot in the history of golf.
Yeah, everybody talks about maybe a hole-in-one at 16, but really 17. And the player was Andrew McGee. It was a good tee shot, don't get me wrong. But Rich needed an assist.
Well, the assist came from Tom Byram, whose brother Kurt is a commentator for the Golf Channel. Tom Byram was just minding his own business, standing on the green, sort of leaning on his putter, and you know what happened.
Yeah, the ball hit Tom Byron's putter and then careened into the hole. So, 17. Made famous, a little bit of history with a couple of names to drag up from the pot.
That's good work right there. Just a tap in. Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today.
Take 2 from there. What's one going to feel like? Great putt.
Par 4 18th, and Frank, if you are trying to win the tournament out here at TPC Scottsdale, this is all you want down the stretch.
It is. There's a short bunker there, obviously for the recreational player to respect. 3 bunkers down the right side protected, and that new bunkering situation down the left there to stop the attack of a Bubba Watson or a J.B. Holmes. Now this tee shot is going to have to be respected, and the green too is anything other than flat.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card. Frank, that front page of the leaderboard has been looking good all week.
You're exactly right, Rich. I think our winner is certainly going to come from that list right now. I'm excited for tomorrow's final round.
EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage. Welcome to the Stadium Course, TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. It's a masterful blend of challenge and playability designed by the team of Tom Weisskopf and Jay Morrish. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Novelo for EA Sports.
The changes, Rich, they made in 2014 have just added a luster to this great venue that hosts the PGA Tour event each and every year. And it's a great test for any level of play.
This hole really sets up well for the player. Birdie yesterday and a chance for another one today. So coming off the birdie on the previous hole, a chance now for yet another one.
And momentum all in his favor.
Continues to roll it very well all day long. Now to the second hole, and Frank, what can you tell us about this par 4?
A new tee has been added, lengthening this hole 30-plus yards. Plus, what used to be just one bunker on the right side of the screen has changed to a little pot bunker, and the addition of 2 bunkers on the left side. Still a semi-blind tee shot, and the hole just bends softly to the left. Another very good par 4 here at TPC Scottsdale.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green.
There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Getting set now over the putt. He's made it. Now the third hole, it's a par 5, and how does this one set up, Frank?
It's a nice yardage around that 550, 560 yard mark. So a good drive, you can certainly reach the par 5 and 2. Got to flash it across a little bit of a desert there. This green has been completely changed in 2014. And the addition of 1 bunker to that right side. Used to be 2.
This is some drive. I'm reminded of the old Phillies baseball announcer, Harry Callis, who used to say, "That ball is out of here." Big swing right there, and a great result, and now a chance for a big swing in momentum with an eagle coming up. And it is down for an eagle. Frank, what kind of shot is required here at the par 3 fourth?
A little drop shot par 3 down the hill in today's standards because it's under 200 yards. Series of 3 tee boxes, so plenty to choose from there. The entry into the green is well protected now by the 2 bunkers, one in the center and one on the right front of this green.
On the green and looking at a birdie opportunity.
Second shot.
So the dominant performance continues.
Yeah, we're watching 2 tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
Now to the 5th hole and a challenging par 4.
Slightly longer this year, played off a new tee at the back, and there used to be 2 bunkers down the right side. They've now been put together to form one, and in the perfect position that really make you think about your tee shot. It takes a very big drive to try and carry that bunker on the right. It's going to be at least 315 plus yards to get past that. Green itself still tilts a little left to right and back towards the player.
Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now to the par 4 6th. Decision time, Frank. Driver, or do you go with 3-wood?
A lot of that's going to depend on if there's any breeze. If the breeze is at your back, you can drive it all the way down the right side and take those 2 bunkers down the right completely out of play. This hole's being stiffened up, though. The length hasn't increased, but that bunkering in that choke point. So the strategy, do you have the length to get past them? Or if you have to lay up, it's going to leave a much longer second shot.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. That is classy.
They had a chance of going in.
This for another birdie on this hole on the week. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Frank, where's the difficulty here on the 7th hole, the par 3 of more than 200 yards?
Well, Rich, front hole locations are always probably the toughest here because that's the narrowest part of the green. Bunkering really hasn't changed, and the green still does widen up, but the hole tends to play slightly uphill.
Well, that's how you do it. Hit it close, take the pressure off that putt. That one should be no problem. This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Great, too.
Beautiful. Frank, the par 4 8th. This is a good hole.
It is. A dog leg to the left. Oh, he is winding this one up. Does he have the power?
Well, that's the way you draw it up here at the 8th. You want to get it out there. He's done that, and he's kept it in the fairway. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
So a tester from 4 feet. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Rounding out the front 9 with a par 4 of 453 yards from the back tee. Looks to be straight away here, Frank. Anything to be cautious about on this tee shot?
Well, that bunker, there used to be 2 bunkers down the right side. There is now 1, and it also pinches into the fairway, which almost makes this hole look like a faint dogleg right. But really, the best line is still down the left side, so it still actually suits the draw off the tee. Green is slightly elevated and not very deep too, so judging that second shot, getting the right club is essential here at 9.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. That's the idea. Just knock it in. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up. You can bring it in high. You can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Good-looking shot right here. Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. These putts keep the round together. On to the par 4 11th hole. Frank, what's the best play here?
No bunkers really here to worry about, Rich, so you have to pick something in the distance as a good line. Something a little bit away from the water that protects the left home. So a good drive, perhaps with a little bit of cut off the tee, and that should shape up nicely for this long par 4.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man. This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, trying for another one today. Makes the putt for a birdie. Par 3 12th may not be as famous as the par 3 16th, but Frank, you think this may be a tougher and even better hole?
We see more bogeys and double bogeys here on 12 than 16 will ever see, and courtesy of the water behind and to the right of this green. If you're going to bail out, find one of those bunkers. A good bunker player obviously can get it up and down, but it's still no snack trying to record your par 3 at 12.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
That wasn't a gimme, but it sure made it look easy. Par 5 13, chance for birdie or maybe even eagle if you're bold and brave enough, but also, Frank, chance for disaster here?
Well, there is. Water very much in play down the right side. There's a bunker down the left too. If you finish up in that, there's no way you're going for this par 5 and 2. Then it becomes a little bit of a zigzag mission. The second shot either has to be hit down the right side, just skirting that bunker in the front, or it has to be all carry.
Playing his second shot here at the par 5.
Frank, that is how it's done.
Yeah, take a gross of those. That is a lesson in itself.
And now a chance for eagle. No problems there.
And it keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Par 4 14th, Frank, it seems as though you'd be pretty happy with a par here.
You would, even though the putting surfaces here at TPC Scottsdale are excellent. It's going to take 2 good shots to reach this 14th hole. You can get in a little bit of trouble off the tee. That bunker on the left very much in play. The rough on the right side is no snack either, because the ball, more often than not, will finish well above the player's feet. And of course that green is very, very narrow, well protected by bunkers on the left.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Midway through this back 9, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Good putt. Great scoring opportunity here at the par 5 15th, but Frank, I'm wondering, as a player, is your mind beginning to think about what's ahead at that par 3 16th hole?
Oh, they are. This is really the finishing stretch at TPC Scottsdale, where you get all these swing holes. 15 is a swing hole. 16, 17, and 18, where so many changes in the score can actually happen. But this one here is all about finding the fairway. A good drive down here will be well rewarded, because you'll have a chance to reach this par 5 and 2.
Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
There's a putt for eagle.
Just dominated this hole and ends up with an eagle. Well, here we are at the 16th hole, looking at just over 160 yards. Doesn't seem all that daunting, Frank. But 160 yards with 20,000 people, horned into a little stadium in the desert, that makes it a different story.
It certainly is. This was one hole, too, where Tom Watson would send his caddy forward. He would stay back by 15. His caddy would get his yardage. Watson would simply walk on the tee. His caddy would give him the club. He would not go through his normal routine. He would simply just head away. It was one hole that he never wanted to think about. It might look simple, but it's what the player feels.
Now to the 17th, and Frank, fair to say this is one of the best short par 4s in all of golf?
It is. The drivable par 4 that's designed the way it's meant to be played is a winner. The ones that are just shortened to be made drivable, they don't work. This was designed. It was designed to be a 17th hole, and it was designed to be drivable. You couldn't get a better place, and you couldn't get a better par 4.
Really in control of this hole. Birdie yesterday, and another opportunity on the way. Getting set now over the putt.
Frank, you had to make a run at that one.
Oh, yeah, good effort. Let's see if he can make birdie, but to put an eagle on the scorecard, what that would have meant to him.
Man,
I just pushed it.
boy, that hurts.
Comfortably knocks it in. Rich, 18 was always considered a long finishing hole.
Not for J.B. Holmes.
Yeah, the water was always in play. And then the day he took it over the left side and carried everything and went on to win, that completely changed the way this golf course played ever since that day.
And it resulted in some of the changes we're seeing now.
Yeah, evidence, the new bunkering down the left side. But it showed us all how much and how strong these guys are, how much they've improved over the years.
Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. Biggest crowds in all of golf. And a big putt right here to win the Waste Management Phoenix Open. Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Just a great putt and a great win. Par 4 18th, and Frankie, if you are trying to win the tournament out here at TPC Scottsdale, this is all you want down the stretch.
It is. There's a short bunker there, obviously for the recreational player to respect. 3 bunkers down the right side protected, and that new bunkering situation down the left there to stop the attack of a bunker. Now this tee shot is going to have to be respected, and the green too is anything other than flat.